I only have one volume from the original Cartoon Classics series, and that's Scary Tales. This is the third volume. This is a beta tape. And it features some spooky themed shorts. Donald Duck and the Gorilla there. It's a classic. This, of course, beta tape. Closer detail of the label there. These were from 1983, of course. Very successful line for Disney. Print date, July 25th, 1983. Alright. There's a limited gold edition right here. Disney's Best, The Fabulous 50s. The limited gold editions were released in the summer of 1984 and had an aggressive marketing campaign behind them with this, slogan, when they're gone, and which got people to go out and buy them as collector's titles. These are both beta tapes. They came in nice packaging, gold labels, and some editions even have limited gold edition written on the tape protector flap. And the print date on this is May 4th, 1984. And got another copy of it here. This one doesn't have the limited gold edition flap, it just has a standard white one. And the print date on here is May 15th, 1984. We got another limited gold edition, Silly Symphonies. The Silly Symphonies were experimental short films that Walt made in the late 20s and early 30s before he tackled one of his greatest projects, which would of course be Snow White. But the Silly Symphonies were exercises in experimental animation that have not before been attempted in the past. You could see in some of them where the animators start, discovering new tricks of the trade and all that. Get this out carefully now. You got the nice gold label, of course, and the flap, limited gold edition flap. I think the other one just has the white one. Yep, just the standard white flap. Print date on the black flap right here is May 6th, 1984. The print date on this tape is May 16th, 1984. Right, here's a limited gold edition 2 edition. That was the follow-up to the limited gold editions. This was in 1985. Not sure if these sold as much as the limited gold editions, though. Donald's B Pictures, featuring his antics with Spike the Bee. Yep. Of course, it makes mention of director Jack Hanna. Nice label and all. And the print date, it's on the bottom. Print date is April 27th, 1985. Also, this tape happened to come with some promo stuff. Some very interesting promo stuff, nonetheless. Let's look at this one. It's basically a promo for the limited gold edition, the second series. Yep, and there's the ad campaign, when they're gone, they're gone. Alright, now here's a little ad for the Black Cauldron, which was Disney's newest animated feature. Of course, it's the legendary one that didn't do so well. Has quite a history behind it. And here's advertisements for Pinocchio, the second classics release. similar promo material like this also appears in the, well, on the Pinocchio promo demo VHS that I have. And here you got a spring 1985 catalog from Walt Disney Home Video. This is great stuff right here. Of course, the main attraction here is Robin Hood, which was the first classics release. Little thing on the back. Let me open it up very carefully. Alright, this is the whole brochure. Of course, Robin Hood has the classics diamond there. Has the prices and everything, $79.95. Can you believe it? That's how much they used to go for in those days. Tron's retail is $84.95. You got Tron, you got the DTV cassettes, which were the music videos set to Disney songs. Never Cry Wolf, a live action drama. Running Brave. Winnie the Pooh and Friends, which I have. That one's $29.95. Pollyanna, The Love Bug and its sequels. Cartoon classics. Old Yeller, Treasure Island, Swiss Family Robinson. Here on the back, you have like all the titles in list view. Prices, stock numbers, 5 Mile Creek there, Stories and Fables. These were all various releases in 1985. Never Cry Wolf, Night Crossing, and even non-Disney animated films that were shown on the Disney Channel, but also given a home video release by Walt Disney Home Video, such as the Asterix film, The 12 Tasks of Asterix, and the Lucky Luke films, along with I Go Pogo, aka Pogo for President, a 1980 animated feature. Tron, Treasure Island, Swiss Family Robinson. Everything is just in list view here. And it also has the prices for the Laserdisc and the CED video disc. Very interesting, to say the least. Nice little promotional material that came with this Donald's B Pictures tape. Here we got the Disney Dream Factory, 1933 to 1938. Sorry about that. Yep, more silly symphonies. Some interesting short films there. Out nice and carefully now. Got the tape, label, print date April 24th, 1985. Here's the only limited gold edition VHS I got. Got this from a Goodwill. This is an Officer and a Duck. And it's not in very good condition. It's the way it came. Like ripped up there. Oh well, what are you gonna do? There's the tape. The label. The print date on here is May 2nd, 1985. Alright, here's Life with Mickey. Get it out nice and carefully there. Got the tape. Print date April 18th, 1985. Here's another limited gold edition too, from Pluto with Love. It's got the little sticker there. It's nice. Of course, it's another beta tape. Label's very shiny, of course. Right, print date is on the bottom. May 10th, 1985. Here's a typical opening to a limited gold edition 2. You'll get this still Walt Disney Home video screen there. There's a Cartoon Classics edition. These editions I consider the second wave of Cartoon Classics because, you know, the first wave was just simply Cartoon Classics, then limited gold editions, and then mini classics. I just call this the second wave of Cartoon Classics, and this one's Here's Donald. It's from around 1987. I also have a box set containing this and the other first 5 volumes in the series. This is volume 2, of course. The cartoons on here are pretty funny. It's pretty entertaining. Get it back in the case carefully. There's another side of it too. There you have it. Here's Donald, second volume in the Cartoon Classics. It's a very nice collectible. This is a box set of the volumes 1 through 5 in the second wave of Disney Cartoon Classics. This is on VHS. And I already have Here's Donald, of course, but it's nice having another copy too. Got Here's Mickey, Volume 1. There's no print dates on any of these tapes, and that's something. Some of them just don't have them. Get it back in there nicely. And this copy of Here's Donald is no different from the other one. Same tape and all. Got Here's Goofy. Top of it here. Did I show the top of the Here's Mickey one? Just in case if I didn't. Here it is. Yep, no print date. For some reason the 1987 Disney VHS tapes did not have print dates. I checked all the copies, of course, to make sure they were legitimate, and they are. And we got Silly Symphonies, of course, the 3 little pigs there. You know, there was, Walt Disney always said, you can't top pigs with pigs, which meant you can't repeat yourselves. That, of course, he was referring to the 3 Little Pigs cartoon that became so popular that, there was a demand for sequels to that short film. And when Walt made them, they weren't as popular, and that always, he wasn't really a big fan of sequels. He always said, you can't top pigs with pigs. That's why, he hardly ever made sequels to his films. And you got Here's Pluto. And there's the top of it. I like how they all come in different colors. Makes for a nice box set. I should try to get more Disney VHS box sets. There's probably very good collector's items. I got Here's Pluto. And unfortunately, there's the bottom of the box. It's kind of ripped. It's the way it came, though, unfortunately, but Oh, and there's the different, tells you the different slots, so you know where to put them. One sec. Sorry about that. I'm going to put them all back in the case nicely. Yeah, it's a pretty nice set. It's the only Disney video box set that I have. But one of these days I'm going to get, you know, a couple other Disney video box sets. I heard there's one for Dumbo, Pete's Dragon, and Mary Poppins, and that has the Classics diamond on it. I wish I had that. And there was also that one I mentioned in an earlier video, which had the 6 early Classics editions and the white clamshells. There's your typical opening to a Cartoon Classics edition from the late 80s. Alright, here's a former rental of the Mini Classics edition of, and the case doesn't close very well, unfortunately, Mickey and the Beanstalk. This was originally part of Fun and Fancy Free. It was narrated by Edgar Bergen. This is the televised version from 1962, where it's narrated by Ludwig von Drake. And that's the way it came. Got the tape, label. There's the Mini Classics logo. Notice the title they put for Mickey and the Beanstalk at the beginning. This is Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, the Mini Classics edition. No case. No slipcover case, and it's in terrible condition. Print date, August 9th, 1991. Here's a poor condition copy of Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, the Mini Classics edition. Of course, that label was taped onto it a long time ago. Yeah, the label basically came off or something long time ago. Not sure if this was my tape or if it was my sister's tape. And there is a print date. June 18th, 1991. Here's Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2, the Mini Classics edition. It's in terrible condition, like the Blustery Day tape. Print date on here is June 20th, 1990, so this must have been my sister's video before. It's too bad it's in terrible condition. One day I plan to get all the, the good condition copies of it that come with the cardboard slipcover cases. Here's the Mini Classics release of Winnie the Pooh and A Day for Eeyore. There's no slipcover or anything. Here comes Kiwi here to visit me. Yeah, so the print date on here is July 22nd, 1996. This is a much later printing. So some of the Mini Classics editions had promos for other Mini Classics available at the time. And the music in that promo was from Through the Mirror. Sometimes there's the telephone beeps. Sometimes old tapes have like telephone beeps on the tape or whatever. Sometimes you'll run into that. Pretty interesting. I also saw the Mini Classics, the end of the Mini Classics edition of Bongo, and it had a different promo with the Mini Classics music over it. And it had everything in the Mini Classics line up until Bongo. It didn't have Mickey's Christmas Carol or any of the Winnie the Pooh titles. And that was from the VHS of Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree.